Okay, so hello. I'm out of my comfort zone today. Do you see the colors? Ha! Color! Psh, on my lips even. All right, here we go. So I read to you the 30th yesterday, and today is September 1st, when really I should have done the 31st. We are not going to worry about that because we're not going to go by the rules. That's fine, but I'm going to read to you what was yesterday. And it's really good. That's why. Okay, here we go. He argued strongly with the early group in New York that it needed to tone down what he called the God bit. This resulted in the much more inclusive higher power and God as we understand him concepts that are now so closely associated with Alcoholics Anonymous. This compromise was crucial. Without it, AA would probably not have survived at all, much less have reached the number of people it has worldwide today. Jim B's contribution to Alcoholics Anonymous is considered second only to that of AA's two co-founders, wikipedia.org. You can look that up. This quote is referring to the story and impact of James Burwell, 1898 to 1974. Author of, quote, The Vicious Cycle, end quote, in the second to fourth editions of the Big Book. Bill Wilson explained Tradition 3. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. By telling a story loosely based on Jim B, the tale credits Jim's atheism as one of the many weighty issues responsible for the elimination of the membership rules that groups had established to fortify AA. Jim helped AA to grow by helping to orchestrate the Jack Alexander article in the Saturday Night Post, and by starting meetings in 2 additional cities. God was never more than a man-made myth to Jim. He didn't have a leg up on theists, nor was he at any disadvantage in getting sober. We all do it in our own ways, based on our own beliefs. 12 and 12 unity does not require uniformity. When we think our programs would be better without so-and-so, maybe we should think again. We might have no obvious use for the person's contributions, but someone will. It may be our closed minds that restrict our abilities to learn and gain from those we feel opposed to. People don't have to agree to get along. We may know members whose opinions and practices differ greatly from our own. They may get under our skin. That's our issue, not theirs. They deserve our love and respect even when agreement is impossible. Everyone's contribution is important in a fellowship. Can I say, you may be right, when I really want to say, I think you are absurd. A lot of wonderful stuff here. 1, 12 and 12 unity doesn't require uniformity. And I remember when I first walked into my Al-Anon meeting, and I told the group that I thought God was a narcissist and an asshole. Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. Not the first time. You should have seen the women. Their eyes were like, oh, oh. So right off the bat, I started my Al-Anon group with not like, whatever. I get it. They loved God. I didn't know that. I thought Al-Anon was all inclusive. In my little group of women, they tolerate me. Some of them, I can tell. But, like this said, they would probably, they don't agree and they don't have to. And fortunately, one woman was really sweet. And I said, look, I know I don't fit in this group. And she came up to me after the meeting and she patted me on the shoulder and she said, look, don't worry. No one fits in. No one's normal. right? So don't worry about it. You're fine here. And that was really helpful to me. But that was only one person. So, and it's true, you know, when you don't have to get along. I noticed even in my group, because a lot of these women claim, you know, they have to have faith and that God is directing them. And yeah, so if I believed that, I would never have gone back to an Al-Anon meeting, because I think I got thrown out the first time. I had gone to the wrong group, and it took all that I had to just get there. And then when I got kicked out because I wasn't an active alcoholic in a woman's group, in the middle, I mean, I don't really like a whole lot of attention. Really, I don't know how I do this, but I don't like a lot of attention. And when it comes to a big group setting with probably about 60 women, and she told me, oh no, you don't belong here. You need to go. And it was, you know, it was in the middle of the meeting. So they had already started and I didn't know. So yeah, don't let those things stop you from going. You know, if you don't believe in God, and Al-Anon is like the group in itself is all God-based, and you know, you feel out of a fish out of water. It's okay. You may not want to go there all the time, but they're still very helpful. The women that I met with at my Al-Anon meeting, I still found we had intertwining issues. So even though, you know, I might have possibly been looked down upon because I don't believe in God and I don't have faith anymore in something I do not see, then yes, I mean, I found that there were still issues that we all, no matter who we believe in, have as human beings. We all have the same issues if it really comes down to it, because they say they had the answer, and the answer was given to them by whatever form. But I feel like they're the only ones with the answer. No one else could see the answer. So I think our brains are pretty amazing. I think that we can I do believe we can attract things, either negative or positive, in our life. I do believe that. I think there's some science to it. And other times I think it's good luck. I mean, Eddie Murphy said it when he had his limo driver that was driving him I think he had graduated from an Ivy League school, and he was driving Eddie Murphy, who had all this money and this great job, and Eddie Murphy said it's good luck. You know, it's the luck of the draw. It's being at the right place at the right time and being ready for it. So, you know, it's a lot of interesting things that happen when you end up with a, you know, good idea, and you happen to be sitting right next to someone who says, hey, I can make that happen for you. I have this machine, or I have this person that I know, and it happens. It's just a matter of being allowed to say what you feel and think what you feel out loud, and you know, you'll slough off the ones that don't like what you said, and the ones that are comfortable with you come around you, and you become more apt to sharing your feelings and being with people that are maybe not similar minded, but who can appreciate you, right? Who can be like fine wine. You can be appreciated, right? So, yeah, unity does not require uniformity. Again, as a Jehovah's Witness, and as no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate being unique. And if somebody doesn't like it, okay, move on. People don't have to agree to get along. We may know members whose opinions and practices differ greatly from our own, right? But they deserve our love and respect. I like that. When agreement is impossible. And that's the key. It's important for people to be able to be respectful to you and love you. Love you no matter what. And everything else can, be worked out. Being respectful and kind to someone can go a long way, and you can get through a lot. My husband and I would not have been able to survive in our marriage if I wasn't respectful to my husband, and if I didn't love him, and vice versa. He was very respectful, very kind, very loving. And when we had our blow up moments, I noticed that we could still let it kind of go, and then come back and just, hold hands. Well, if you don't know, we would just come back quieter, both in our mind and our body, sit quietly with each other, hold hands, and get through it. So yeah, don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. That's what I mean. Don't give up on yourself, because ultimately that person will do what that person wants to do. There's nothing we can do about that. And I wish we could say something as couples so that your mate could come out faster. But really, there's really nothing you can do except work on yourself. And I noticed that's exactly what my husband did when I was so into my belief system. And now that I'm out, I get to work on myself. And he allows that, he's always allowed me to do what I wanted. I never had a man that was harsh to me and unkind, and who wanted me to do a certain thing all the time. I always, I would speak my mind. I would say what I wanted, and in my home. And that allowed for a lot of, it allowed for a healthy confrontation. And healthy confrontation is very important. Being able to confront somebody and say, I don't like what you're saying, or I feel uncomfortable with how you're treating me. And and you have to be able to do that with somebody that you love and that you're married to. And we did do that, and we still do, because it's important to know what the other person feels like. Otherwise, you will be shut up and you'll never be able to express yourself. And the marriage only goes so far. So it's important to be able to do that, to be able to talk things out and agree to disagree, right? Agree to disagree. And that's important. You want to be able to do that. You have to be able to do that and still get along. And I'm grateful for 30 years of marriage to the same person. I have not married 3 times and stayed married 30 years. I've been married to one person. That's enough. I don't want to do it anymore. And if you've been married as long as we have, you understand that. You put a lot of energy and you put a lot of love and you put everything inside of this entity, and we have 2 beautiful children for it, and I'm so very grateful for all of that. So I will let you go, and I hope you like this. It was good. I liked this day, and I didn't want to let it go. And like I said, I'm out of my comfort zone. I got totally color on everything, color on lips and whatever. So yeah, I jumped out of the shower, hurried up and got myself ready, and off I go to work. So I will let you go, and I hope you had a good week, have a good weekend. Hopefully I see you on Saturday, because I'm going to try and do another one. But if not, you make it a good week. Make it a good end of the day. I hope you have a good end of the day, and that your day is going well. And I send my love to your family, and follow your bliss, and be good humans. This is fascinating, because I haven't been here for probably, 2 years maybe? I just stopped coming to this particular park, and they had totally redone it. They pulled out all the weeds, and this was all empty space, all of it. And now, a God ambulance, and they have grown like dinosaurs. Crazy. Look at how big they are. That's fascinating. Because just 2 years ago, they were like barely doing anything. They weren't very big at all. So, wow. I'm just fascinated by it all. Thought I'd share that with you. And then, so that's like a place you could play with your dog. And then like soccer, kids will play soccer here. Families will come here and do volleyball. There's volleyball courts. But yeah, don't lose your soccer ball. And there's snakes in there. I saw a huge rattler 2 years ago when the plants were really little, like probably about that little all the way around. So I can't even imagine what's in there now. Yep, our dinosaur-sized agave plants in our community park. That's crazy. Just sharing. I'm on my morning walk, and I thought I'd give you a little look-see at what I see in the mornings. There's all sorts of kind of wonderful. I try and make myself walk in the morning to get my brain feeling good about life. It's been hit and miss lately because my schedule is strange. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Sorry, I'm bouncing. Anyway, okie dokie. Here I am. Hopefully you can see me because there's chocolate all over my phone. It's been kind of crazy. Follow your bliss. Be good humans.